sekarang ini Cheryl sudah berada di kota kedua jalan-jalan di Amerika, which is Orlando, Florida. Dan sekarang ini Cheryl juga berdiri persis di depannya Lake Iola. Ini adalah salah satu danau yang terkenal dan juga ikonik di kota Orlando. Di belakangnya ada air mancurnya. Black Swan, White Swan, semuanya ada di sini ya. Oke, dan masih kita akan membahas di kota ini social entrepreneurs, siapa aja yang akan kita ketemukan nanti. Plus, Cheryl juga akan jalan-jalan ke tempat-tempat yang menyenangkan dan menghibur di Orlando, Florida. Tempatnya apa aja, diikuti terus perjalanan kita, cuman di Jalan-Jalan ke Amerika.
Hai pemirsa JAK TV, setelah di episode yang lalu kita sudah mengeksplor Washington DC dan berbincang seputar social entrepreneurship, kita melanjutkan perjalanan ke Florida, tepatnya ke Orlando. Kota Orlando terkenal dengan daya tarik wisatawannya. Ada banyak tujuan rekreasi keluarga di sini. Sebut saja Walt Disney World Resort, Universal Studio, SeaWorld, dan masih banyak lagi. Julukan dari kota ini adalah kota yang indah, dengan lambang kota ini adalah air mancur dari Danau Iola. Dari Orlando, Florida, kita masih berbincang mengenai social entrepreneurship. Misi sosial selalu dikedepankan dalam usaha yang dilakukan oleh pelaku social entrepreneurship ini. Tak disangka, hasil merecycle sabun dapat menyelamatkan nyawa anak-anak di belahan dunia lain, seperti disampaikan Sean Sipler, CEO dari Clean the World. Juga ada Julie Colombino, CEO Rebuild Globally, yang menggerakkan social entrepreneurship untuk meningkatkan kesejahteraan masyarakat di negara berkembang dengan domain design. Ide-ide kreatif memang selalu diperlukan dalam membangun suatu usaha di bidang social entrepreneurship. Ingin tahu lebih lanjut? Saksikan terus perjalanan tim JAK TV untuk jalan-jalan ke Amerika seputar social entrepreneurship.
Di pagi hari yang cerah ini, Cheryl Marella ada di Orlando, Florida. Lebih tepatnya karena kita masih membahas seputar social entrepreneurship, kita ada di satu tempat, namanya adalah Clean the World. Dan motonya mereka, Recycling Soap Saving Lives. Seperti apa sih sebenarnya ceritanya, kita akan ngobrol langsung juga nanti dengan CEO-nya sendiri. Jadi ikutin saya di dalam dan pantangin terus ceritanya akan seperti apa ya.
Perjalanan kami lanjutkan ke Florida. Saat traveling ini, kami pun menginap di salah satu hotel di Orlando, Florida. Dan tahu nggak, ternyata dari sebuah aktivitas traveling dapat menimbulkan ide bagi Sean Sipler, CEO dan Executive Director Clean the World, untuk merecycle sabun limbah hotel untuk mengurangi tingkat kematian anak-anak akibat kurang higienisnya lingkungan sekitar dengan cara mencuci tangan. Misi mulia yang sejauh ini sudah menurunkan sekitar 30% angka kematian di 99 negara yang telah dibantu. Wow, luar biasa ya. Gimana cerita lengkapnya? Simak perbincangan Cheryl dengan Sean Sipler.
Dan seperti janji saya tadi, kita akan ngobrol-ngobrol langsung dengan CEO dari Clean the World, Sean Sipler. How are you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me too.
Welcome to Clean the World, where soap saves lives.
Now that's the thing that I really want to ask you. How did you came out with it? I mean, I went to so many hotels. I never thought that a soap can actually save lives? How did it start?
Yeah, well, I was a frequent traveler staying in hotels 4 nights a week, and one day I called the front desk at a hotel and asked them what happened to the soap when I was done using it. They told me that they throw it away. I thought that was interesting. I did research and found that we throw away 5 million bars of soap every day across the globe. And at the same time, 2 of the top killers of children worldwide, pneumonia and diarrheal disease, we can cut those death rates in half if we simply give them soap and teach them how and when to wash their hands. And so we decided to put that together and create a mission to collect the soap, recycle it, and send it to children and families all over the world.
Oh, so that's how you actually started it. But was it easy? How did you start, and who funded you and all that stuff? I mean, was that as simple as it sounds like it is?
No, it was not simple at all. It was quite challenging, actually. We started with a philanthropy model where we asked people to donate money to us, and we found that to be very challenging in 2009 when we launched. So we had to create a model, a program that hotels would pay for that would recycle their soap and have a social impact at the end of it, simply a save life. So we introduced a program fee to hotels. We asked them to pay like any other recycling program, and the results have been tremendous because they grabbed that idea and they have had tremendous results ever since then.
Oke, jadi pada dasarnya di awalnya dia sering banget traveling di hotel-hotel 4 hari dalam seminggu. Terus dia nanya gitu ke front desk-nya, kalau gue udah selesai pakai kamar ini, sabun-sabunnya kemana? Terus karena front desk-nya bilang katanya dibuang, dan ternyata setelah di research, hasil dari pembuangan itu sebenarnya bisa menyelamatkan banyak nyawa, terutama anak-anak, dijadikanlah si Clean the World ini. That is very inspiring actually. And how many lives do you know that you have saved?
Well, when we started Clean the World, there were 9,000 children that were dying every day to pneumonia and diarrheal disease. Today, 6 years later, that death rate has reduced by 30%. There are 6,000 children. Now, that's still a child every 15 seconds, so there's still a lot of work to do, but we are happy to report that with our 25 million free bars of soap that we've sent to 99 countries, we have seen a 30% reduction in the death rate.
Dan sudah 30% ya menurun angka kematian setelah 6 tahun Clean the World ini ada. So, if I may ask you, if people wants to join this Clean the World, how do they do that? Is it open for everyone?
Yes, so we operate hotels across North America, also in Singapore, Macau, Taiwan, and in Hong Kong. We are launching very shortly in Thailand and south into Indonesia, Malaysia, and Australia. So go to our website at cleantheworld.org to see where we are operating. Our expansion is happening right now internationally, and if you can just ask hotels in your area to sign up for Clean the World, we know that we can reduce landfill waste and save lives.
Wow, pada intinya adalah tinggal masuk aja ke websitenya mereka dari negara manapun kita kasih tahu ini hotel-hotel yang mana yang kira-kira mau ikutan. Udah deh, you can actually help save life. Okay, last but not least, we're talking about social entrepreneurship, right? Do you have any message to our viewers if they want to start having or being a social entrepreneur? How do they do that? How do they start? And don't be afraid to fail.
Yeah, that's a great question. We are living at a very unique time where social enterprise and social entrepreneurship is the trend in the future. Corporations know that they have to give back. Millennials now make up more than 50% of the workforce, and they want their companies to give back locally and abroad. So if you want to start a business that can drive social impact or environmental impact, but also has a sustainable business model, has employees, and really is able to drive economic impact as well as social impact, now is a great time to start a social enterprise and to be a social entrepreneur.
Basically, jangan takut untuk mulai. Just start and everyone will try to help you anyway, right? Thank you so much, Sean, for having me here, and good luck for the Clean the World. Hopefully you can save more and more lives every day.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate it.
Nah, itu dia tadi perbincangan Cheryl dan juga Sean. Semoga perbincangan tersebut bisa membuat kita semua lebih terinspirasi lagi untuk bisa menjadi seorang social entrepreneur.
Program Clean the World juga mendapat respon yang baik dari organisasi atau pribadi yang berada di sekitar Florida. Bergantian volunteer hadir setiap hari untuk membantu proses produksi di Clean the World dengan misi yang sama, membuat dunia ini menjadi lebih baik lagi.
Masih dari Clean the World dan sekarang ini Cheryl akan ngobrol-ngobrol langsung dengan seorang volunteer di sini. Hi Rick, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Rick, can you tell us a little bit how did you actually start volunteering for Clean the World?
Me as an individual, I started a few years ago, found Clean the World online, and when I heard about all the children that were dying just because they didn't have soap, it pulled at my heartstrings, and I said, we have to do something about this. And this was before I lived in Florida. So when we moved to Florida, I lived just an hour away from this facility, and so my organization, we're a bunch of real estate agents, and we came over today to volunteer our day and do what we can to help Clean the World get soap overseas to the kids who need it.
Okay, that's awesome. Do you have any, do you think that you will start any social entrepreneurship on your own?
On my own, I don't know if I'll do it on my own, but I know that there are enough organizations like Clean the World that need volunteers. My job is going to be to get these guys to do things on more than just one day a year. So if we can volunteer for organizations like this, absolutely, it helps you feel good.
Yeah, and it makes the world a better place, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. Thank you so much, and hopefully you're having a great day volunteering in this way.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Tadi hasil perbincangan Cheryl dengan Sean, dia adalah CEO dari Clean the World. Very, very inspiring. Jadi untuk kamu yang ingin menjadi seorang social entrepreneur, jangan takut untuk mengeluarkan ide-ide yang fresh yang bisa membantu juga semua masyarakat Indonesia ya. Saya Cheryl Marala melaporkan dari Orlando, Florida.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love, and this place.
Bencana yang terjadi di Haiti beberapa tahun silam menjadi awal dari Rebuild Globally yang didirikan oleh Julie Colombino. Melanda membuat para wanita di Haiti ingin sekali bekerja untuk dapat menafkahi keluarga mereka.
Oke, ada hal yang menarik di Orlando, Florida karena masih membahas social entrepreneurship. Kali ini Cheryl akan ngobrol-ngobrol langsung dengan CEO dan juga founder dari Rebuild Globally, which is Julie Colombino. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Great, and thank you for having us here.
My pleasure.
We're gonna be digging around your office right now.
You're welcome to dig away.
But before that, can you please tell me how you started it? Everything from Haiti and everything.
Absolutely. I was a disaster relief worker, and I responded to the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. 10 days after the disaster, I landed, and I was just working on some of the initial relief efforts like everyone else was. And about 2 days into my venture, the women were asking me for jobs. And so this whole birth of this social business was because of the women of Haiti. This was their idea. They knew better than anyone that to survive the recovery of the earthquake, they needed work, and they needed good paying jobs. They needed a dignified way to rebuild after the earthquake. So we started working to fund this project, and so because my background is nonprofit management, I formulated a nonprofit organization, Rebuild Globally. A lot of our funding came from the wonderful people of Central Florida, and they helped us with some of that startup capital. And within about a year, we were making a beautiful product that was saleable. So not only in Haiti, but exporting. So quite quickly, we were learning how to be excellent sandal makers. We had people pouring into us from all over the place. We've had so many professionals helping us to make bigger and better sandals and just being better at our trade. And so about a year ago, after we've really figured out how to operate in Haiti, how to operate post-disaster, we opened a business, a Haitian-owned business called Dumé Designs, and that serves as our fashion brand here in the States. So the fashion brand works hand in hand with our nonprofit organization. The nonprofit really focuses on skills, skill building, and employability in vulnerable persons. So some of our craftsmen might not have ever made, actually none of them have ever made sandals before. Some of them maybe never went to school or held a pair of scissors. So there's a lot of training involved in working with some of our team in Haiti, but the nonprofit is happy to do that with the generous donations of a lot of people. And then Dumé Designs, once they're employable, brings them to work, and they don't need any other handouts, they don't need any assistance, they are purely wonderfully trained, ready for the workforce.
And why sandals?
To be honest, I had seen someone in Africa years before make sandals from tires, and in Haiti, because there was no waste management after the disaster, people were putting tires, stacking them up high, putting their trash inside, and lighting them on fire. So this wasn't just a problem for Haiti; this was a problem for the entire world. So I thought, okay, I remembered these guys making sandals from tires, so I started to Google it and met with some people, and we literally started sitting on a floor underneath the tents, cutting tires with razor blades. So the sandals that you see now being sold in Kenneth Cole stores, they have come a long way from people sitting on the floor using razor blades. And again, that has just been the investment of many, many wonderful people. And that is really how social business thrives, is when people understand that by pouring in and mentoring and training, we will get a greater impact than just simply giving $1 or giving, even though of course you need both. You need people to give of their time, their treasure, and their talent. And so that's why social business is such a beautiful thing.
Gagasan membuat sandal ini terlintas saat Julie melihat banyaknya limbah ban bekas yang dibakar di pembuangan sampah. Setelah mempelajari proses pembuatan sandal dan memulai hanya dengan bermodalkan pisau cukur di Haiti, kini usaha Rebuild Globally sudah mulai berbuah manis setelah brand Kenneth Cole tertarik dan kemudian menjual produk ini di toko mereka di Amerika Serikat.
So the sandals are made from tires, and what else, the materials?
So we actually have a comfortable foam top, which a lot of Haitian cobblers use on the bottom of their shoes, and then we use Haitian goat leather. So everything is sourced locally, which is something that our company really stands by, sourcing everything locally. And so we have the tire bottoms, the leather tops, and that really makes our sandal. There's not too much to it.
So if the viewers wants to either volunteer with you or be part of this, how do they do that? And do you have any websites or anything? Please do share.
Yeah, absolutely. If viewers are interested in helping with our nonprofit endeavors, which are training and tutoring and donating, please visit rebuildglobally.org. And if you're interested in purchasing a pair of handcrafted high-fashion sandals that we guarantee 50,000 miles of wear, please visit Dumé.com. And that's DEUXMAINS.com. And Dumé stands for two hands. And our fashion brand means it's about the two hands that made the sandals, but it's also about the two hands that bought them. And it's inspiring a cycle of change from both the maker and buyer.
Okay, thank you so much for having me here. I'm just gonna let them know that semua bisa ikutan. Kalau mau volunteer silahkan aja, website tadi udah dikasih tauin juga, apalagi untuk entrepreneur yang suka sama fashion. Bisa bikin sendal, bisa bikin sepatu mungkin besok-besoknya, ya kan? Nah, jangan kemana-mana karena berikutnya masih akan ada entrepreneurs lagi dari Florida. Dan ini semua adalah hasil perbincangan dengan social entrepreneurs dari kota kedua, yaitu Orlando, Florida. Sangat menginspirasi sekali, terutama untuk orang-orang yang ingin berkecimpung di dunia social entrepreneurship. Jadi yang ingin belajar, mulai dari sekarang dan jangan pakai takut ya.
Pemirsa, yuk kita asah kepekaan mata hati kita sambil melihat sekeliling di mana kita berada. Siapa tahu muncul ide-ide segar yang dapat membantu masyarakat di sekitar kita. Di episode mendatang masih akan ada ulasan seputar social entrepreneurship di Florida. So, you better stay tune di sini dan jangan sampai ketinggalan ya. See ya.